Hi, I'm Michael Fry, President and CEO of Deepwater Subsea. In this episode of The Daily Grind, I'm talking about digital checklists still and compliance and verification. And are you willing to risk a lawsuit over John Doe pencil whipping some PMs? Let's get into the show. So it's 5:30 on a Friday morning. You're sleeping, I'm at the office working. That's okay though. This Daily Grind, what I want to talk about is your attention to detail. You're getting to the office first thing in the morning. We all know how it is. You got to get that coffee in your system. You got to wake up. But what if you're at the work site? I'm walking out on deck on the rig. Could be anywhere. It could be manufacturing. Doesn't matter. And I'm half awake. And my relief is coming off his 12-hour shift or however long the shift is. And he's ready to go. And all he wants to do is go home. And he's going 9,000 miles an hour of a turnover because the faster he can give you that turnover, the faster he can get on the road or the faster he can go back to the rack. What I want to talk about in this daily grind is the value of the digital checklist for verification and compliance. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I talked about it yesterday in the daily grind. But the importance for the digital checklist is if I'm walking onto the site, how much can I shorten that handover by someone just saying, hey, Mike, you're on step 27. Now, if I have a good quality relief, I have someone that I trust, I know that he's done everything up to that point. He goes into the system and he assigns it to me. All I do is pick up on the next step and I continue going. For me, 5:30 on a Friday morning, I'm showing up to the site, I'm not awake. I'm not really into it, my brain's still not turned on yet. All I have to do is look at what step we're at and we just continue going. The reliability, the verification, the compliance to procedures is now more important than ever. You know, we're coming up on the 6-year anniversary of Macondo. And one of the things that we learned during the post-investigation and the hearings is the information, the details that were in the maintenance steps. I know because I had to testify during it. I had to answer questions about what did people mean by checked, done, complete. With digital checklists and digital procedures, that will eliminate that because as I'm going through the maintenance task, I get to a step where I have to put in what were the findings or what were the readings. I do it right there before I'm allowed to progress to the next step. Hey, take the cavity dimensions in the BOP. All right, boom. What are they? I have to punch in my information. I go on to the next step. So I can continue going through my PM, and when I get done 100%, it allows me to sign it off. I can't complete the task until the task is 100% complete. Something I want you to think about in this daily grind, how much are you willing to risk to not be in compliance? All it takes is a spot check, and we learn more and more each and every day that people in the field are not following procedures. Why? They'd be walking around with a 3-ring binder full of stuff, and we know that that's not taking place. Do I expect them to walk around with the binder? Honestly, no. I mean, when I was in the field, the procedural drift that would take place, hey, I'm a subject matter expert. I don't need you to tell me to follow procedures. But in today's world, with BESI verifications, with SEMS audits, with liability for incidents and accidents, having a digital checklist will keep you out of trouble. It'll keep you out of trouble because as you're executing the steps, those steps are being checked off. Document your findings. Here's a picture. What were the readings? Here's the notes. And as you go through, if something were ever to take place, all you have to do is just pull the report, and then there's the information. You want to know that I did it? Hey, April 2nd at 2:50 in the morning, here were my checks. Unlike if I went into a maintenance system today, it's did John Doe really perform those steps? He could have just went and grabbed some numbers from the last time it was done, tweaked them a little bit, put those numbers in there. But if I'm saying show me a picture, if I'm saying actually put in the information as you're doing it before you can sign it off, I know exactly who did it and exactly what time they did. As soon as they sync it up, I get the report back in the system that says, hey, this thing's done. This is one of the reasons why we at Deepwater Subsea have fully gone to digital checklists when it comes to the verification of the blowout preventers as part of the BESI inspection. Reason for that is my customers can go online and see the information in real time. As soon as my guys sync up, there's, the status of their report. There's the pictures. We're not going to be banging emails all over the place. They just log in and they have everything they need right there in front of them. Now, some people will say, Mike, why would you want to do that? Why would I not want to do that? We're talking about forward thinking. We're talking about compliance, verification, checks and balances. This is the way the industry is moving forward. The question is, how much are you willing to risk not to be in compliance? How much are you willing to risk and trust that John Doe really did his PMs? In today's world, I'm not too sure that a lot of companies are willing to do that. That's the reason why digital checklists are very important. If you're willing to swipe that button to say, yes, I've completed it, now it comes to your integrity. And if I want to validate someone's integrity, I do it with checks and balances. And those checks and balances tell me that at that moment that they're doing the PM step, I want to know exactly what the ratings were. I want to know exactly what your findings were. When it's 100% complete, then I'll let you sign the task off. So to wrap up this daily grind, think about in the world of digital checklists, digital procedures. We get in our cars, it tells us to do things. Pilots get in planes, it tells them to do things. One of the things I find interesting is when Boeing went from the paper checklist to the digital checklist, they didn't give pilots the option to say, hey, look, guys, you pick which one you want to use and then we'll move forward. What they said is, this is the way we're moving forward and you're going to comply or you're going to go away. Something to think about.